Greetings everyone, my name is Gear and welcome to a new video. So, as you may notice, I haven't made any videos since last year. I planned to, but it never really worked out. But right now I just couldn't help myself to make a video. Disclaimer about what you're gonna hear is that I don't have any type of script. I had one, but I trashed it because, well, it sounded too much like a rant. About what? Well, lately we see how Pyro won the war and people started to think what Valve can fix about this great class. So we got something like a letter on the site from pyrowithlove.com. You will have it down in the description, a link to the site. Letter made by top competitive pyros in the world. And well, at the beginning, this video was meant to be a rant about this letter, that this letter shouldn't happen, and that everything that they are speaking about in this letter is wrong. But I decided against it. We have already too much people getting angry, too much people leaving the game because of competitive part of Meteor Match update. So I'm just gonna speak about something else, close to the original topic, but something else. I want to speak about why Valve shouldn't agree on doing what this letter says. But not because this letter is bad, but because who wrote this letter. Let me explain. I think that there are three groups of people that shouldn't be allowed to make big impact on game that they are playing, especially on TF2. Why? I'm good. Let's first say what those groups are. The first one is professional players, well, mostly the people that just play competitive as basically the way of their life, like people that just go on those massive tournaments and earn money for doing so, or just playing in other leagues and things like this. The second group is people that have really expensive inventories. And the third group, I will come to that later, to the third group, because it needs more explanation. So, let's start with the first group, professionals. Why do I think that they shouldn't be ones that decide about what changes in TF2? Well, my opinion on this is based mostly on the thing that professional player doesn't exactly know, especially in TF2, what other people's want. And if in CSGO, even if I don't agree with changes to CSGO, but even if in CSGO professionals can influence Valve on what will be changed, then there it's somewhat explained, but because CSGO kinda was meant to be a game for mostly for professionals. It always was meant to be an esport, but TF2, in my opinion, wasn't. In my opinion, because you know, it's everything is my opinion. TF2 was always meant to be the casual fun game for people that competitive. It always was like the thing that community made, but it was fully made by community. It wasn't made by Valve. It wasn't a part of official game. It was just something that normally when you play the game you never noticed. But when you done some research and when you look for the things that you really wanted to be changed in game, or the game modes that you would really want to play, you would someday find that there's such thing as competitive in Team Fortress 2. It was always made like that thing. Hmm, how to explain it? Maybe that way. It was always the thing that no one basically see in the normal game. It was almost never mentioned except of like the Team Fortress 2 blog and them badges for completing seasons of Highlander and things like that. It was always the thing that normal TF2 player wouldn't ever notice. So basically, competitive in TF2 always was the thing for people that wanted it. It was always there, but people that just felt like they would just want normal casual game that will just be funny, it wasn't the thing that was shoved into their faces like it's now. My point is that professional players does not really know how the whole community works and how the whole community thinks, and that's the biggest problem because from all the games, most of the games of Valve, or well, two biggest, TF2 and CSGO. I know there is also a Dota 2, but I never played it, so I'm not gonna speak about it. In TF2 and CSGO, there's the biggest mistake that pros made that they think that the way of their thinking is that how whole community thinks, and it's not really like that. Community has their own special way of thinking about what happens in their games. In TF2, most of the community, at least before this update, as we saw from how many people left the game, were just about pubs, having fun, and enjoying the game as it was, not about competitive stuff, which is the biggest reason why I think that professional players at least shouldn't be the ones that have like the their voice is the loudest one. Everyone can hear it. They are the first people to scream that something is not good, that something should be changed or shouldn't be changed. They are the part that have their specific way of thinking, but it's not always suit everyone. But they most of the time behave that their way of thinking is best. The second group I was talking about are people that have really expensive inventories. And again, in TF2 it's not that big of a problem, and I'm gonna say why in a minute, but in CSGO it was a big problem. Because well, in CSGO the most pricey items are mostly weapons, and especially ones that Valve can nerf or buff. And especially annoying, especially for me, was when there was AK-47 nerf, and people that cried the most about it were people that had fortune in AK skins in their inventory. They are basically salty because they would lose so much money because always nerf equals weapon or thing going down in price. So what then happened was basically that they started saying that this nerf destroyed weapon, that it was unneeded, that it just broke the game, which was basically their way of saying we wasted so much money on it, we want our money back. Why it's not that big of a problem in TF2? Mostly because in TF2 the most pricey items can only go up in price. Because most pricey items in TF2 are unusuals. And especially unusual hats. And yet we haven't had unusual weapons for not vanilla weapons. Like we didn't had unusual Frontier Justice or other things like this, which is good because we would have the same problem that had happened in CS:GO. That we would have many people that were just screaming that you nerfed weapon that I really used, and the weapon that was always not so great. It was just just okay. It was okay, and most of them just mean that, hey, what? How could you nerf the weapon that I spent so much money on? That's why I don't want Valve to make skins for other weapons than stock weapons. Or at least not right now, when we have community like we have. In TF2, right now, it's not that big of a deal with people that think that they spend money so they can so they can say what they want or they don't want, because unusual can only go up in price. Why? Because Valve can you make unusual or let it like it was, or make it all classes, or multiply classes, which no matter what, it always give the unusual more money, because Valve cannot like make something that was all classes right now be only for like one or two classes. It just would be a stupid move from Valve. And the third group that I wanted to talk about are veterans. And before you started to hate me that people know how the TF2 was good and that they know what would be best to change, let me explain myself. I mean veterans that think that everything that is new is bad, because everyone knows that there are veterans like that, and these are really the most toxic people that TF2 can have. People that think that something that is new is always bad. And especially we see it every time there is new update. They're always like those bunch of YouTubers or a bunch of people on forums that just keep saying that new update is bad, and they throw some meaningless reasons, mostly because, well, they are just salty that there is something new in this game, that TF2 should stay like it was and like it is, because they have like this special mindset that everything new is bad, and that's the main reason why only this type of veterans should be stopped. Because I know that there are like people that play from the beta and they know what made TF2 great, and they want it back. And I understand that people, and I want these people to be the loudest speaking. I want them to always show others what TF2 was like and what TF2 should be like. So there we go. That's basically what I think about this letter from Pyro with Love. I just don't think it's good idea what they did. I would prefer this letter be more made by the whole community. Maybe some YouTubers in this, maybe even some traders, maybe veterans, bunch of just simple casual players that maybe have ideas what they would want to change to the game. We cannot just simply let one group decide what should happen. Valve shouldn't go in the way that they went with CSGO, that professionals are always the ones that are right and no one else is. We cannot allow TF2 to go this way, because especially right now when TF2, well, isn't doing best, we have to put TF2 in hands of people that love this game, but also the people that are from all different types of playstyle and types of players that could just make the game great for everyone. So this is just the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. Leave your ideas in the comments, what could be changed. Leave feedback in the comments. Leave a like or dislike. Eh, I just don't want to ask for things like that. Just the only thing I want to other mention that after basically this video, I'll try to make some kind of series called From Casual with Love, that I would just say my ideas what could change in TF2, what from the perspective of just a normal casual player I think that in TF2 is good or is bad. Also, I plan on doing a smaller series about what changes could come to TF2, especially because TF2 soon gonna be uh, 10 years old next year. So I'll try to do it in next few months. Just my ideas, and let if even it goes any day to Valve to be able to see ideas that just a simple casual at times salty player has. And well, this is the end of the video. So see ya guys next time, and thank you for watching.